This is video 4 in a 7-part series on Deepak Chopra's book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. And today, we're diving into Chapter 4, The Law of Least Effort. Pause for a moment and let that phrase sink in. The Law of Least Effort. Doesn't it sound almost too good to be true? In a world that glorifies hustle, sacrifice, and endless struggle, the idea that success could come through least effort feels almost rebellious. But if you've crossed your 40s, if you've carried the weight of bills, family, responsibilities, failures, and restarts, you know by now that sheer hard work doesn't always guarantee prosperity. Sometimes, the harder you push, the more resistance life throws back at you. And that's exactly what this law teaches us to overcome. Deepak Chopra invites us to look at nature. Nature doesn't struggle. Grass doesn't strain to grow, it simply grows. Fish don't fight to swim, they just swim. Flowers don't struggle to bloom, they open when the season is right. The earth doesn't grind its gears to spin on its axis, it rotates effortlessly, carrying all of us with it. If nature is the greatest system of abundance, and it functions through ease, why are we convinced that our financial life must always be tied to sweat, tension, and endless anxiety? The law of least effort is about aligning with the intelligence of nature, flowing with harmony rather than fighting with resistance. It doesn't mean laziness, and it doesn't mean sitting back doing nothing. Instead, it's about energy efficiency. It's about understanding that when your actions flow from love, acceptance, and inner alignment, they multiply results without draining you. When your actions are motivated by fear, control, or ego, they consume energy without creating lasting prosperity. Think about your financial struggles in the second half of life. How many times have you wasted energy trying to control people, circumstances, or outcomes? How many nights have you spent worrying, replaying worst-case scenarios in your mind? That's wasted energy. Energy that could have been channeled into creativity, solutions, and opportunities. The law tells us, the more you resist reality, the more reality pushes back. But the moment you accept, flow, and redirect energy with awareness, new doors open. Let me give you a practical example. Imagine you're 45, buried in debt, overwhelmed by payments and commitments. The instinct is to panic, to fight, to blame, to resist. You might even burn yourself out working double shifts just to force a solution. But often this fight creates more stress, more errors, and more closed doors. Now, imagine if instead you paused, accepted your exact situation without denial or shame, and asked, what's the lesson here? What is this challenge teaching me? What creative options am I not seeing because I'm stuck in resistance? That shift alone frees up energy. That energy can inspire you to negotiate debts differently, to spot opportunities for new income, or to restructure your financial life in a way you couldn't see before. That's least effort in action, clarity instead of chaos. Chopra explains that the law rests on 3 pillars: acceptance, responsibility, and defenselessness. Let's explore how these 3 attitudes can revolutionize your prosperity after 40. Acceptance means recognizing that the present moment is exactly as it should be. That doesn't mean you approve of every detail. It doesn't mean you give up on changing things. It simply means you stop fighting reality as it is. When you accept that your current financial state, whether it's abundance or scarcity, is the product of past choices and circumstances, you stop wasting energy in denial. From acceptance, energy is freed up to create solutions. Think of it like being in quicksand. The more you fight against it, the deeper you sink. But when you stop resisting and move with awareness, you find a way out. Responsibility is the second pillar. Responsibility here doesn't mean blame. It's not about pointing fingers at yourself or others. It means owning the ability to respond creatively to whatever life places before you. When you say, I am responsible, you're saying, I recognize my power to choose my response. Let's say you lost a job in your 50s. You can either sink into victimhood saying, "Why me? It's unfair. The market is cruel," or you can take responsibility and say, "This is my moment to reinvent, to learn, to pivot into a career that aligns with who I am now." Many people after 40 discover entrepreneurial paths, consulting, digital opportunities, or even financial independence strategies precisely because they embraced responsibility instead of blame. The third pillar is defenselessness. This is the most liberating one. Defenselessness means giving up the constant need to prove, persuade, or fight others to accept your point of view. Think about how much energy you've wasted in arguments, trying to convince family, partners, or colleagues that your way is the right way. In finances, this often shows up as defending bad investments, refusing to admit mistakes, or holding on to old strategies out of pride. Defenselessness frees you from that prison. It allows you to say, "I don't need to be right. I need to be free." When you let go of rigid defense, energy that was once trapped in arguments becomes available for solutions, for creativity, and for joy. Now, let's bring this into financial prosperity directly. Many people chase money with anxiety, ego, or control. They think wealth will come through constant struggle. But Chopra reminds us, when your pursuit of money is driven by ego alone, you cut off the flow of universal intelligence. You're like a dam blocking the river. The river still flows, but your energy is stuck, consumed by fear and the illusion of control. But when your actions are motivated by love, love for what you create, love for the people you serve, love for life itself, your energy multiplies. You attract opportunities naturally. You stop chasing and start receiving. At 40 and beyond, prosperity is no longer about raw ambition. It's about alignment. Think about how many people burn out in their careers by midlife because they've spent decades fighting against their true nature. They pursued money for ego, status, or fear of scarcity. But when they finally align their work with their deeper values, teaching, creating, mentoring, serving, prosperity often flows in new, surprising ways. This is not magic. It's simply the law of least effort. There's also a deeper truth here. When you surrender the need to control and instead trust the intelligence of life, you experience peace. Peace creates clarity. Clarity creates better decisions. Better decisions create prosperity. Stress clouds your mind. Peace clears it. And clarity, after 40, is your greatest financial asset. So how do you practice this law in daily life? First, by consciously accepting every situation as it comes. The next time you face an unexpected bill, instead of saying, "This shouldn't be happening," say, "This is what is." Now, how do I respond creatively? Second, take responsibility. If you overspent, admit it, learn from it, and create a plan. Don't waste energy blaming the economy, the government, or your family. Responsibility puts you back in the driver's seat. Third, release defensiveness. The next time you find yourself in a heated argument about money, pause and say, "I don't need to win this argument. I need to find a solution." You'll notice how much lighter and freer you feel. The law of least effort is not about doing less, it's about wasting less. It's about stopping the leaks of energy caused by resistance, blame, and defensiveness so that all your energy is available for creation, growth, and prosperity. Now pause and imagine your life lived under this law. Imagine flowing through challenges with calm acceptance, taking responsibility with power, and releasing the constant need to defend yourself. Imagine how much energy would be freed up. That energy could be used to create wealth, to build meaningful work, to enjoy your family, to explore new opportunities. It could be used to live, not just survive. This law is especially powerful after 40 because by now you've seen enough of life to know that fighting everything doesn't work. You've seen how clinging to control only creates stress. You've seen how ego-driven pursuits leave you empty. But you've also seen glimpses of flow, Those moments when things clicked effortlessly, when opportunities appeared without struggle, when prosperity seemed to chase you instead of the other way around. The law of least effort teaches you to live in that flow intentionally. So, as you reflect today, ask yourself, where am I wasting energy and resistance? What would happen if I accepted this moment as it is? How can I respond with responsibility instead of blame? Where am I defending old positions that no longer serve me? And most importantly, what would my financial life look like if I allowed prosperity to flow with ease, guided by love and alignment? Because here's the truth. Abundance is not meant to be chased with anxiety. It's meant to be received with openness. Prosperity is not meant to drain you. It's meant to empower you. And wealth after 40 is not about working harder. It's about working aligned with your nature, with your values, with your heart. That's the secret of the law of least effort. If you liked it, show it with a like, comment what you think, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe with the notifications on. Knowledge only matters when you take action. Check out the link below in the first comment and take the next step.